Yan, hello everyone. Sino taba-taba ako 'no. So, jogging na naman. Okay lang 'yan. So guys, I made this video in order for me to review my students in my oral communication in context. Ayan. So while waiting for them, I'll just introduce myself to you. Yan. Hi everyone. Oh no, what's that? What's that? May kumakalabog. Ayan, who's in and who's out? Who's in and who's out? Charot. Who's in and who's out? In or out? Are you in or out? Ito lang ang internet dito. I don't have net here. Why, Layla? So before you come to break out the door. Oh, who's watching now? Hello, everyone. Just say who's watching now. May nanonood sa atin. Don't forget to give me thumbs up. Also, thank you so much. Charot. Ayan, apat na. Sinong nanonood sa atin? Wait, I'll just send it to my students. Kasi yung iba yata, they are busy. Ayan, Haj, sir, this is review for the grade 11. Yes, Haj, ito yung review for grade 11. Can you send the link to them? Can you send the link to them? Ayan. Thank you so much. This is my personal channel, okay? Marami pang ano siya hahabulin. Though I'm done with my um, watch hours. So meron pa akong 300 na kailangang habulin para ma-monetize siya. Charot. Ma-monetize talaga siya. Send the link to them, Haj. I think the others are busy, but I have no time. I don't have enough time tonight to entertain you guys. Yeah, so kasi I need to review also the grade 11 students. Kasi after an hour, the grade the grade 11 students will also be in. Okay po, ayan, ayan. Sige, Haj. Thank you so much. Para maunahan pa kita, Haj. Yes, say hi, say present first, guys, in order for me to find out who are here because I will going to privatize the review after an hour. Okay, I will. Yeah, Muna is here. Can Amstel is here too. Okay, don't forget to give me thumbs up also. Yeah, or please help me also in finding subscribers. Charot. Yan, yung to those who did not subscribe yet, if you have some other friends, maybe you can, so that my personal channel will also be monetized na. Charot. Sabi ni Haj, okay. Because Haj family, ano yata, vlog channel is already monetized. Fion is here, Collins, Kyle, hello. Ayan. So, we're gonna wait for the others first. Don, all I thought you're busy. All I thought you're busy, Don. Why you're here? Why are you here, Don? O, Dan, nakala ko busy ka. Sabi ni Dan sa akin, busy daw siya. So, sabi ko, okay. So, guys, I don't have enough time na kasi mamayang gabi kasi I need to review also the grade 12 students. I have 2 subjects with them. So, most likely, I cannot find time. Kasi after an hour sila naman, then I need to do my, personal routine. Alam niyo na, it's Sunday tomorrow, so I cannot entertain you much tonight kasi I need to iron my clothes and everything. So, sorry guys. We need to, can we start now? So there are only how many students here? One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. Seven students. I think that's enough. 12. Okay. Ilan na ba? 12 ba? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there are 8 students. Please remind the others too. Well, I can only listen po. Okay, saan ba si bumisita na naman sa McDonald's? Owner kasi ng McDonald's si tawag dito, si Dan kaya bumibisita siya charot. Bumibisita siya dun. Bumibisita siya sa McDonald's. 'Di ba Dan? So okay na ba? Just tell me if you're ready. If others won't come in na para we can start. We spent 6 minutes na. So ayan, Kylie is there. So please inform the others, guys. Na mag-start na tayo. Anyone? Anyone can send a message to our group. Ayan. Nasa old sock daw siya. Naku, gumala na naman si Dan. Diyos ko po. The virus is there. The virus is everywhere pala. May charge ko lang yung phone ko. Pabiglang malobat. Yan, ang kulit lang, no? Ang gulo. So, I think let's start now. Just type ready, guys. Type ready if you're ready. Type ready. And don't forget to give thumbs up. There are 11 people were watching, so, but there is still 4 thumbs. Anyway. Guys, just type ready in order for me to know if you're really ready. Type ready, guys. Ready, ready, ready. Man. Type ready, guys. Walang nagta-type ng ready. Mag-type na kayo ng ready para ano na tayo. Push na tayo. Mga auntie. Mga auntie talaga. Mga auntie. Ayan. Isabella is in. Ayan, Isabella is in. In. Ready na. Ano ba? Oo nga, walang nagta-type ng ready eh. Para mabilis na tayo. Ayan, ready na daw. Tatlo pa lang nagsabi ng ready. Ready, 4. Ayan, ready na. Okay, sige. Yung mga hindi pa naka-thumbs up. Okay, sige. I need to monitor it here in my phone para ano. Okay, so first question. Dun, 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 dun. The first question is true or false. So take down notes now, guys. Take down notes. True or false? Communication is a complex process. Thus, people do not just communicate because they love to talk, rather, they communicate for several reasons. Question number 1. Just answer me true or false. Communication is a complex process. People do not just communicate because they love to talk. Rather, they communicate for several reasons. Sabi ni Amstel, true. How about the others? Amstel told it's true. Muna said true. Aya said true. Oh, Aya is here. Okay, true. Patrick, true. Isabella Hodge, true. Fian, true. Okay. So let's see if the answer. I will not give you a confirmation on the correct answer, but I think the one who most of you answered it true. So this will be fill in the blanks. So meaning therefore that you need to give me a response. Okay, if the speaker's purpose is to control others by managing their behavior, then the speaker is using the function of what? So we are now under the, I think this is the report of Fian. Okay, under the function of communication. So stated here, if the speaker's purpose is to control others by managing their behavior, then the speaker is using the function of what? Isabella, Fian told it's regulation control. The regulation control. Regulatory. Isabella told it's regulatory. Oh, it's regulation. Okay. So it's regulation control. Okay. Regulation control. Okay. About the others, is it really regulation control? Or gaya-gaya lang? Charot. Okay, the reporter is there. So this is Fian's report, I think. Okay. Next question. Still fill in the blanks. Still fill in the blank. Okay. Blank is the most familiar function of communication and the primary reason why people communicate. So what do we call the primary reason why people communicate? So this is the most familiar function of communication and the primary reason why people communicate. What do we call that function of communication? What do we call the function of communication, which is the most popular function and primarily and the primary reason why people communicate? So what's the answer? What's the answer? Well, Fian, what's the answer? Blank is the most familiar function of communication and the primary reason why people communicate. Okay, so it's Kylie told social interaction. Okay, Fian told it social interaction. How about the others? How about the others? What's your answer? What is the answer of the others? So there are. Okay, let's proceed to the next question. Number 4 question. Still fill in the blanks. So question number 4. It is a function of communication when the speaker's purpose is to persuade or try to persuade another person to change his or her opinion, attitude, or behavior. What do we call the function of communication when the speaker's purpose is to persuade or to try to persuade another person to change his or her opinion, attitude, or behavior? Timer starts now. So what do we call now the function of communication? When the speaker's purpose is to persuade or to try to persuade another person to change his or her opinion, attitude, or behavior. Anyone can give me the correct answer. Motivation. Sabi ni Amstel, "Oh, it's motivation. It's easy peasy lemon squeezy." Yan. Motivation po. Ayan. Sabi ni Kylie, Muna, and Kyle. Okay. How about the others? How about the others? Nakikinig lang yung iba. Mamaya mali-mali pala yung mga sagot ng mga kaklase ninyo. Fian told it's motivation. Okay. Next question. Question number 5. Dan Joseph told it's motivation. Okay, how about this one? It is used when the speaker wants to make other aware of a certain data, concepts, and process. This is knowledge that you may be knowledge that may be useful to them. So the function of communication, this function of communication is the most useful among all. Ayan, motivation sabi ni Patrick Paredela. So this is used when the speaker wants to make other aware of a certain data, concepts, and process. That knowledge that may be useful to them. So this function of communication is the most useful among all. So sabi, let's start with Fian information, Kylie information, Muna information, Hatch information, Kyle. So it's obvious, just merely but by merely looking into that to make aware of a certain data. So it's now giving information then. So the answer is information. Okay. Next number. How many items this one? There are 32 items, but it's 50 points. Okay. So we are now in number 6 question. We are now in the 6th question. So yeah, Kyle information, Amstel information, Patrick information. If the purpose is to move another person to action more than regulation and control or motivation, then the speaker uses what kind of functions of communication? If the purpose is to move another person to action more than regulation and control or motivation, then the speaker uses what kind of function of communication? Emotional expression. That's according to Fian. It's emotional expression. Are you sure, Fian? If the purpose is to move another person to action more than regulation and control or motivation, then the speaker uses, according to Fian, emotional expression. Anyone can give confirmation to that? That Fian's answer is correct? Walang magbibigay ng confirmation. Let's proceed now to number 7. Number 8. Sir, paulit tanong. Rewind mo na lang, charot. So the question here is, if the purpose is to move another person to action more than regulation and control or motivation, then the speaker's purpose is to what? So if the purpose is to move another person to action or more than regulation and control or motivation, then the speaker uses what? According to Fian, emotional expression. Did you get it? Kyle? Kyle Robledo? Verbal cues. Oh, amazing. Sabi niya, it's a verbal cues. Sigurado ka, Amstel, it's a verbal cues. Fian, Fian. So what are now the five functions of communication? And Fian, can you enumerate the five functions of communication? Or anyone can enumerate if you are faster than Fian. Okay, in alphabetical order. In alphabetical order. Excuse me. So what are now the functions of communication in alphabetical order? Muna said emotional expression. Okay? Maybe you can open your ebooks. Anyway, I just took all those information in your ebooks. So what are the functions of communication in alphabetical order? So it's according to Fian, it's emotional expression, information, motivation, regulation control, and social interaction. Okay. Okay. So according to Fian, emotional expression, information, motivation, regulation, control, social interaction. Very good. Thank you. Thank you so much. I just told you to enumerate it. It's because part of the questions that previously is within that five types or functions of communication. So don't forget the five functions of communication in alphabetical order. Okay. So let's proceed now to question number 8. Okay, this is true or false. Emotional expression as a function of communication uses persuasion to move the listener away from his or her own position towards the speaker's own or the position where the speaker wants the other person to move. True or false? Emotional expression as a function of communication uses persuasion to move the listeners away from his or her own position towards the speaker's own or the position where the speaker wants the other person to move. True or false? If it's false, what's the correct answer? So, emotional expression as function of communication uses persuasion to move the listeners away from his or her own position towards the speaker's own or the position where the speaker wants the other person to move. True or false? Ba't ang tagal ng sagot? Diyos ko po. Charot. Charot lang. False. Why do you say so, Kylie, that's false? Why, Collins, it's false? So what's the correct answer if it's false? So emotional expression, false cause its motivation. Okay. So ganun siya. So sabi ni ano ni Fian, it's false because the answer is motivation, because motivation as a function of communication uses persuasion to move all the listeners away from his or her own position and not emotional expression. You are correct, Kylie and Callens, but why it's false? So you need to justify your answer. And next, let's proceed now to question number 9. True or false? Still within the functions of communication usually overlapped. I think I asked this to the reporter and they answered me very right. So, is it true or false? The functions of communication usually overlap. So, ibig sabihin, that the function of communication, Kylie, true. Yeah. So, it means that the function of communication does not only appear to one situation, in a single situation, but they can be together. Okay? All together. Had said, true, 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 true. True, of course. Ayan. Talagang may of course. Nasaan ang Jowa Bells mo? Ba't wala na naman? Di naman nag-review. Diyos ko po. Yan. Akin ka na lang, akin ka na lang. Charot. True, 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 true. Bayad daw tayo. So, nasaan na yun? Nasaan na tuloy? Nawala na tuloy ako. Next, number 10 question. The functions of communication, still true or false? The functions of communication, both verbal and nonverbal cues, sorry, the functions of communication use pala both verbal and nonverbal cues to accomplish a specific purpose of communication that the speaker has in mind. Wrong spelling pa yung communication ko. Okay. True or false? The function of communication use both verbal and nonverbal cues to accomplish a specific purpose of communication that the speaker has in mind. True, 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 true. Sabi ni, start with Dan, true, Callens, true, Kylie, true, Muna, true, Haj, true. So how about the others? Next, number 11. Number 11, it is the first level of communication. Blank. This is within now the uh, within the topic of Isabella, types of speech context. So blank is the first level of communication because it involves only one person. What do we call the first level of communication that involves only one person? Okay, the one that I told you that you are talking in front of the mirror by yourself. So what do we call that? What kind of communication is that? What kind of communication when you talk to yourself? Okay, not often, not often. Because if it's often, that's psychosis. Okay, so what do we call now the first level of communication? Intrapersonal. So according to Kylie, it's intrapersonal. So meaning therefore that, yeah, take note that there are two kinds of people, right? Kind of behavior of a person, intrapersonal and interpersonal. So if you say intra means alone, okay, single, then inter it's meaning many. Okay, so the answer daw is intrapersonal communication. So intrapersonal communication then is the first level of communication because it involves only one person. Okay, intrapersonal communication. Next, number 12. Next, number 12 question. It is a type of communicative strategy that involves two or more persons. It is a type of communicative strategy that involves two or more person. What do you call now this type of speech context? It is a type of communicative strategy or speech context, okay, that involves two or more person. Sabi niya dyadic communication. Okay, pwede rin, 'di ba? Kasi two, 'di ba? It's a type of communication that involves two or more. Take note, two or more. Dyadics only two. There are only two people to be discussing. Okay? But it's here stated is type of communicative strategy or speech context that involves two or more. Is it dyadic communication? Sabi ni Isabella, interpersonal communication. Kylie told it's So Patrick, interpersonal communication. Well, you need to read between the lines, guys, ha? Pag once you take an exam, make sure that you need to read thoroughly, okay, and understand what it means. Just like of this one, it could be the possible answer can be dyadic because of the word two, but there are still additional phrase stated or more persons. So it means therefore that it's still many. So it's interpersonal communication. Next, number 13 question. Blank is a type of speech context that involves two participants forming. O yeah, ito na. It's obvious. The word dyad. Okay? Tanggalin ko kaya ito. It's a type of speech context that involves two participants only. Para ano, it's obvious na siya eh. So what's the answer? It is a type of speech context that involves two participants only. Ayan na, dyadic. Ayan, it's dyadic communication. Dyadic communication. So the answer daw is dyadic communication because of the word two means dyad. Next, number 14. Guys, this is the questions are randomly asked. So most likely the number one can be number 15 and so forth and so on. Okay. So this is a type of speech context that requires 3 to 15 people who come together to discuss problem and come up with a plan or solution. Don't remove it. Ayan. So this is a type of speech context that require 3 to 15 people who come together to discuss a problem and come up with a plan or solution. So according to Hodge small group communication, Fian, Kylie, Muna, Patrick, small group communication. Okay? Small group communication. Okay, next. Next number. Yeah, small group communication. Dapat alam to ni, ano, ni Isabella. Isabella must know this because this is their topic. Okay, next. This is a type of speech context that may involve only one speaker, but the audience is a group of listeners. So what do we call the type of speech context that may involve only one speaker, but the audience is a group of listeners? What do we call the type of speech context that may involve only one speaker, but the audience is a group of listeners? Sabi ni Kylie, it's a public communication. Public communication. Public communication. Haj, Sabella, Kyle, public com. Public communication. Okay? Public com, public com. Next, where are we now? Wait, guys. Huh? Okay. Next now, um, number 16. Okay. It is a type of speech context that takes any of the levels of interpersonal communication and broadcasts it in the viewing or listening public with the aid of mass media technology, just like that we are doing now. So this is a type of speech context that take any of the levels of interpersonal. So it could be dyad, it could be what do you call this? It could be small group public. So what do we call this one now? Mass communication. Okay, so if you say mass, meaning therefore that you are not only delivering to a person in face to face, but rather you can deliver it or broadcast it through online. Okay, so this the mass communication therefore is a type of speech context that takes any of the levels of interpersonal communication and broadcast it in the viewing or listening public with the aid of mass media technology. Okay, very good, Kylie. We have also Amstel, Muna, Hajj. Mm, next. This is a type of speech context that refers to the interaction of members following their link in a business structure. Okay, this is a type of speech context that refers to the interaction of members following their links in a business structure. So halimbawa, the one we will discuss first will be the boss, mga CEOs, and after that it will be disseminated to the other group members and so forth and so on. So sabi ni Isabella, organizational communication. Kylie, organizational communication. Okay, so please read it within the lines. Okay, guys. Type of speech contact refers to the interaction of members following their links. So, meaning, therefore, the employees won't even discuss things with the bosses. Okay, but the bosses will be the one to discuss first, and it will be disseminated to the lower position until it comes to those who are in lower rank. Okay, so we call it as organizational communication. Yeah, just like of the, I don't know if you remember, parang ayan, Kylie knew it because Kylie is part of the Sentinel. We discussed first with the group yung mga heads of the different categorized what do you call this, people in rank. Then after that it will be disseminated to their own fellows. Halimbawa, photojournal, the head of the photojournalists, the head of those writers and so forth, ganun. So as in your PSSD, right? So the officers will discuss first and it will be disseminated to the student 3. Ganun siya. So that's organizational communication. So we have also here next question number 18. So question number 18, it is a type of speech context that exchanges concepts, values, traditions, and practices among people of different nationalities. What do we call the type of speech context that exchanges concepts, values, traditions, and practices among people of different nationalities? Sabi niya, no, I'm the first one, intercultural communication. Callan said intercultural communication. Kylie, intercultural. From the word, therefore, exchanges of concepts, values of different nationalities. Intercultural, okay? Intercultural communication. Very good. Next, we have now I take note that if we're going to put it in an umbrella, types of speech context is within a big umbrella of the intrapersonal and the interpersonal communication. And within interpersonal communication, we have the five types of speech context. Okay, so there are types of speech context within interpersonal communication. So anyone can give me now the five types of speech context in alphabetical order. Okay, right? Write it in alphabetical order. So what now the five types of speech context within interpersonal communication in relation to communicative strategies. Okay, in so anyone now? Dan 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 dan. So the first one though is dyadic. Okay. Then what else? Oops, scary, oops, scary, oops. Every time I see you. Charot. Napa oops, scary, oops, scary, oops. Ay. Anyone, anyone, anyone. Ayan, Kylie told it's dyadic communication, intercultural communication, mass communication, organizational communication, public communication, and small group communication. Ayan. So don't forget the questions that I asked previously has something to do with this. So we have dyadic communication, intercultural communication. Very good, Isabella. Kylie also. Dyadic communication, intercultural communication, mass communication, organizational communication, public communication, and we have small group communication. I think there are one, two, three, four, five, six. So there are six types of communication. Okay, six types of speech context, should I say? Okay, within the umbrella of interpersonal communication. Very good. Let's proceed now to the next question. It's almost done, guys. So 12 questions more. So this is already the topic of Hajj. Hajj or anyone in the group, what are the five types of speech styles in relation to communicative strategies? So what are the five types of speech styles in relation to communicative strategies in alphabetical order? What are the five types of communicative strategies in alphabetical order? Anyone, anyone, anyone? Anyone can give now. So we have Casual. Kyle it's casual. We have casual. We have com- consultative. We have formal. We have frozen, and we have intimate. So as Patrick told, it's we have casual, consultative, formal, frozen, intimate. Very good. Hmm. Mali muna. Casual, consultative, formal, frozen, and intimate. Muna may baliktad. Mauna mo ng casual. Casual first before then consultative. I ask you to make it in alphabetical range. So let's proceed now to the question. So fill in the blanks. This is a non-public speech style that uses private vocabulary and non-verbal messages. So just speak now to the five types of speech context. It is a non-public speech style that uses the private vocabulary and non-verbal messages. Intimate. Titled intimate. How's intimate? I'm still intimate. Okay, intimate. Intimate relation, charot. Intimate style. So it's intimate. You can just answer it as intimate. No need for you to write the word style. Okay, how about this one? This is a speech style used among friends and acquaintances. Okay, this is a speech style used among friends and acquaintances. I'm still told it's casual. Yeah, casual. Diba, diba, that's why you always ask, sir, are we wearing casual dress? Because it's just an ordinary way of dressing yourselves, right? So as in speech, the same time that we have the casual speech style that we use to, diba, we won't even talk highfalutin words with our friends, but rather in our layman's term. You have even your way of conversing with your friends and acquaintances. Okay, so casualty. Charot. Okay, then next, it is the opposite of the intimate style. So this is a type of speech style. Okay, and it's the opposite of this the intimate style since it's used among people who do not share common experiences or meaning. Wow, bilis. Consultative. Bongga si Haj. Kasi report kasi nila to eh. It is the opposite of the intimate style since it is used among people who do not share common experiences or meaning. It's consultative. Very good. Consultative. Diba kasi pag opposite of intimate, so if you say intimate, there's attachment to it. So consultative. Very good. So next question. Bilis ha. So this is only used. It is used only for imparting information using technical vocabularies or jargons and exact definition. So what do we call now? The use only for imparting information. So formal. So parang formal lang siya. Okay, you just give what is biology. Ganun. Biology is a branch of science that studies about human about lives, 'di ba? Tama ba ako? Bahala na. But that's an example of formal definition. Okay? So it's used only imparting information using technical vocabularies and exact definition. Formal. Yeah. If we say technical vocabulary, but vocabulary. Next question. Next question. It is a style that is static, ritualistic, and even archaic. So what do we call now the style that is static, ritualistic, and even archaic? So it's obvious. Frozen, di ba? Let it go, let it go. Charot. Frozen. Frozen. Anna. Frozen. Very good. Frozen. Okay, true or false? Speech context and speech styles are just two parts of communicative strategies. Speech context and speech styles are just two parts of the communicative strategies. Of the communicative strategy. Tawang-tawa ka muna, tawang-tawa ka muna. Charot. Joke lang. Diba? Kanta-kanta tayo para hindi tayo maboring. Speech context and speech styles are just two parts of the communicative strategy. Ayan, can't hold it back anymore. Ayun pa. Ay, kumanta pala siya, kaya pala siya tumawa. Sorry naman. Let it go, let it go. Okay, next. Speech context and true or false. Speech context and speech styles are just two parts of the communicative strategy. True or false? True. Sabi ni ano, Brevo. True, true, true. True, true, true. Are you sure it's true? Sige. Sabi mo true. Pag sila mali, sisihin nyo si Amstel. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, next question. So believe Amstel. If you will want to get the answer, charot. So illocutionary speech act happens with the utterance of sound, a word, or even a phrase as a natural act of speech. I think this is the group now of um, Patrick Paradella. What do we call true or false? Illocutionary speech, illocutionary speech act happens with the utterance of a sound, a word, or even a phrase as a natural act of speech. True or false? If it's false, why do you say so? Why false? What is the correct answer? Bakit siya false? Illocutionary speech act happens with the utterance of a sound, a word, or even a phrase as a natural because it's locutionary act. Sabi niya, no, because the answer is locutionary act. Locutionary. Ito, how about this one? Ayan. So, illocutionary speech act. So, ang haba ng sagot ni ano, pang beauty contest. Patrick Paradella, false because it's illocutionary speech act happens when there is an intention. Okay. So, because it's locutionary act. And so, true or false? In locutionary speech act, it is not just saying something, but something itself, but the act of saying something with the intention of stating opinion, making prediction, issuing an order, and giving of advice. I think it was answered by Patrick Paradella already. In Locutionary Speech Act, okay, in Locutionary Speech Act, so I think that this one has been answered by Patrick already. So Locutionary Speech Act is not just saying something, so it's done. Probably the answer is probably the answer is a Locutionary Act. Because according to Patrick Taradella, a Locutionary Speech Act happens when there is an intention or making or stating an opinion, making a prediction. Charot. So please remember that. Please remember that. Next, true or false? Tignan ko nga kung illocutionary speech act is used when a particular effect is sought from either the speaker, the listener, or both. The response may not be necessarily be physical or verbal, true or false. Illocutionary speech act is used when a particular effect is sought from either the speaker, the listener, or both. The response may not be necessarily be physical or verbal. False. It's perlocutionary. Anong perlocution? Perlocutionary speech act. False. It is perlocutionary speech act. Perlocution. Bisaya man jud oy, charot. Okay, it's perlocutionary speech. Okay. Next question. At least matatapos na tayo guys. Malapit tayo matapos. We're done. There are only 3 questions now. The aim of blank speech act is to change the feelings, thoughts, or actions. So, what kind of speech act is being used when we wanted to change the feelings, the thoughts, and actions of our audience? So, the aim of this speech act is to change the feelings, thoughts, and actions. What is the answer? The aim of this speech act is to change the feelings, the thoughts, or actions. And na, bilisan nyo na. Dalawa na lang. Anyone? Anyone? Anyone, please? The aim of this speech act is to change the feelings per locutionary speech act. Okay, or perlocutionary because I mentioned anyway, I mentioned the word speech act there. So the aim of this speech act, so perlocution according to the report, it's perlocutionary. Okay, let's see if it's correct. Next, last 2 questions. Mali, napindot ko na naman. Okay. True or false? So, speech acts are useful in crafting the types of speech styles or its combination. Ayan, nakakalito na. Pumunta tayo na siya ng speech styles. So, the speech styles is the topic of Valido. So, sabi dito, speech act are useful in crafting the types of speech styles or its combination. So, you can use the types of speech acts in crafting the types of speech styles. Bongga. So is it true or false? So speech acts are useful in crafting the types of speech styles or its combination. Amstel said true. Ay, maniwala kayo kay Amstel para mali kayo. Charot, charot lang. Charot lang, Amstel. I'm just kidding. Okay? Sabi na Amstel, true. True. Okay, last question. But I want I did not give what do you call this affirmation that Amstel is correct. Perlocutionary speech acts uses the illocutionary force of statement, a confirmation, a denial, a prediction, a promise, and a request. So do you think now speech act, perlocutionary speech acts can use the illocutionary force of statement to confirm a denial, prediction, promise, and request? Ayan, nangungulit, tignan nyo, nangungulit yung mga, so 5 minutes na lang tayo guys, kasi kailangan ko na rin silang, sabi ni, ni, anyone can, is it true or false? Last question. Perlocutionary speech acts uses the illocutionary force of statement, a confirmation, a denial, a prediction, a promise, and a request. It can be used ba? Can perlocutionary speech act can use now or uses the illocutionary force of statement, or it's not? Hello, 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 Negi, mega love, shout out. Icy Gakutan, chuva, charot. Okay, anyone? So that's all guys for the report. Iwanan natin si Negi dito, charot. So I'm going to give a review also to other group. Okay, don't forget to give me a thumbs up guys. 9 pa lang ang nag-thumbs up or 19 inside. Okay? Tumataba ka na. Oo, ganun talaga. Sir, pag-graduate kita ng 7, sige. Thank you so much. Haj, thank you so much, Haj, ha? Oo. Can you drop my link also, charot, in the, of your, kung nagla-live yung, magulang mo, charot. Ayan, magpag-graduate din daw niya ako ng 700. Thank you so much. Ayan, mag-graduate na ako, ayan. No problem, sir. O, para naman ma-monetize na ito. Actually, the Gurong Vloggers monetize na. O, nakakuha na tayo ng ng pera. Okay? Nandun pala sa bank, hindi pala sa Okay. So next time kapag may LS ka about English, paki-send ng link kay CJ. Okay, sige. We will be discussing things again. Um, when it will be when will be your second quiz? Tomorrow will be your first quiz, right? So I'm just going to give you a link and I'll give you information to when will be the second quiz review. Okay? So 695 bumalik na naman. Okay. 693 yan kanina, 693. Okay, thank you so much. Para graduating daw ako ni Haj. Okay, thank you so much, Haj. And God bless grade 11 students. See you tomorrow. Okay, see you tomorrow to those who are coming in school. Okay, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Okay, this is your RTV. Charot. And we're talking about real talk videos. Thank you so much. God bless everyone. Always keep safe. Dan. Okay? Don't forget my McDonald's tomorrow. Charot. Hindi, joke lang. Okay? See you tomorrow. Yeah, see you. Thank you, Sir Bite. Bye-bye, everyone. Kapag send mo yung link kay CJ, chat mo, sabihin mo, manood siya. Ayan. Anong grade na ba si CJ? Ayan, Isabella, God bless everyone. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Yan, I'll send the link to others. So, it still be, magla-live pa rin ako dito sa, ano ko, sa personal channel ko. Sabi ni Dan, hala. Oh, the owner of the McDonald's Kuwait. Okay, Dad. Bye, Charot Luto Time. Sige. Bye, everyone. God bless. Tamang-tamang chika na. Ayan. Grade 8. Sige. So once again, this is your RTV talking about real talk videos. Okay, and we are now really talking about the reality of having a review in our communication and oral communication in context. Dito ka na lang kasi mag-LS ang Premiere, wag sa GVK. Hindi kasi sa GVK kasi owned by the school yun, so kailangan ako dun mag-premiere, ano ka ba? Okay, so pag mga ganito lang, ano, ganyan, ganyan, charot. Okay, God bless everyone. See you tomorrow again.